Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Escondido RV Resort. Yes, I changed places today. So got here with no issues whatsoever. It was a fun drive. There was a couple of things where it seemed like the back end was fishtailing a little bit, but I think it might have been wind buffering the side of the RV. But otherwise, it was a really good drive. It's normally 45 minutes in a car, and it took me just under an hour because I was traveling a little slower. But that's not what I'm here about. So we've changed locations. We're doing good. We're all set up. But tonight I wanted to talk about, I got into a discussion in one of the Facebook groups that I belong to when I was asking them a question about taking an RV into Canada. Was there anything besides what the Canada Border Patrol pages listed that you can and cannot take in there? Was there anything else I needed to be aware of? And also bringing the RV back into the US. And that got us into a great big discussion about passports versus passport cards versus enhanced driver's license. What's the difference? What do they use for? Are they a waste of time, a good time, or whatever? So I thought that I would pop on here tonight and let you know what's what. I never travel without my passports, period. That's it. I don't use the passport card. I think it's a waste of time and money, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. Other people have different ideas. The difference between a passport and a passport card is that you can fly internationally on a passport. You cannot fly internationally on a passport card. You can use the passport card to drive across the border from the US into Mexico and back into the US again, or from the US into Canada and back into the US again. And that's about the extent of it. It proves your citizenship. If you are doing a closed loop cruise, which is a cruise that goes to the Caribbean, Mexico, Bermuda, and starts or in Canada as well, and starts or ends at the same US port. So for example, if you're doing a 7-night Caribbean cruise that leaves from Fort Lauderdale, it goes down into the Caribbean, comes back to Fort Lauderdale again, that you can use a passport card on. You can also use your passport, and you can use an enhanced driver's license. Enhanced driver's license is allows you into federal buildings. It allows you to drive across the borders into Mexico and Canada. But that's about it. You cannot fly on an enhanced driver's license. You cannot fly on a passport card. So my advice is always travel with your passport, because here's the big thing that I always tell my clients. I let them know what the options are, and then I let them decide with all the facts. And I always send them to travel.state.gov, which is the official State Department website for all the travel information, and tell them to search for the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative, which is the agreement between the US, Canada, and Mexico for the passport card, the enhanced driver's licenses, and all that sort of stuff about closed loop cruises. Those questions are all in there, answered in there as well. But you get the latest information from them. And I always tell my clients, I always give them the link, go, here's the link. This is what you need to be searching on. Go see what the documentation is. Then it is and then once you have educated yourself on the information on that page, then it is your decision on what you need to do. My advice is get the passport and be done with it. Passports are valid for 10 years. So why not just go get it? But here's the thing, if you travel with your enhanced driver's license or a passport card on a cruise in and out of the US to the Caribbean, Bermuda, Canada, or you're driving across the border into Mexico or Canada, here's the thing. If you have an emergency that you have to get home for, or you have a medical emergency and they're going to be flying you home, you cannot fly on a passport card and you cannot fly on an enhanced driver's license. You can, however, fly on a passport. So that is one reason that I always travel with my passports, because if I go across the border into Canada or across the border into Mexico, or if I'm in the Caribbean and for any reason whatsoever, I need to offload the ship to fly home, then I have my passport with me and I can fly back home. Now, being in the travel industry, we get so many stories coming across our desk time and time again of people who get stranded in Mexico or stranded in Canada or stranded on a Caribbean island because they did their cruise on a passport card or an enhanced driver's license, and now they can't fly home. They eventually do get home, but they've now missed the emergency that they were having to fly home for. They're late for that, or their medical issues get worse because they can't get home in time, because they've got a whole bunch of red tape that they have to go through in order to be able to fly home without their passport. So if you are traveling to a foreign country internationally, whether it is crossing a border, if you are crossing a border in any way out of the US, take your passport with you. Yes, it may cost you $130. I think it's $130. Whatever the travel.state.gov site says. Last I checked, last time I renewed my passport was $130. But it's valid for 10 years. That's $13 a year. That's it. And you've got the peace of mind that you're able to fly home for emergencies instead of getting stuck in a country because you're on a passport card or you're on an enhanced driver's license and you can't fly home. So that's my advice today. Whenever you are traveling across any border internationally, by land or sea, take your passport with you, period. That's it. That's it from me. So enjoy your travels. I'm enjoying my travels. And that is my lesson for today. Take your passport when you travel. Even domestically, I travel with my passport because I never know when I might get a call that I've got to fly somewhere quickly internationally. So, and of course, now being in an RV, my passport's with me anyway. So, but before that, I always traveled with my passport. It was in my bag whenever I do domestic flights. It's there. Just, it saves a lot of time and a lot of hassle. It really does. The one good thing about the enhanced driver's license, though, is that it's part of this new Real ID thing that the government is bringing in, and the states are slowly getting into it. So if you have an enhanced driver's license, then you don't need the Real ID license. So that's one good thing. But apart from that, travel with your passport. If you need the latest information, go to travel.state.gov for the latest travel information there, the latest travel warnings, and all the information about what you need to cross borders between the US, Canada, US, and Mexico, or doing a closed loop cruise. Have a super fantastic, sparkling day.